You see what's going on. Josh Green is now a member of the Charlotte Hornets. Change is officially coming to the Queen City, and we can see it right before our very eyes. I repeat, Josh Green, fresh off of the NBA Finals. It gives the Charlotte Hornets an injection of life that they have not had in some time. When you're talking about some of these guys that they are putting around Lamelo, Miller, and the guys that's on this roster, these are high character and great quality players, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of move that gets the Charlotte Hornets shifting in the right direction. I'm telling you now, the Hornets is going to surprise a lot of people this year. We all know the real key to the Charlotte Hornets is health. And if everybody is healthy, I'm starting to really be honest with you. I don't see how they're going to not miss the playoffs or at the very least get back to the play-in. I believe in head coach Charles Lee, even though he has not played. He is going to coach the summer league. I mean, we're going to get into that as well. You are talking about a guy that's trying to do it from the ground up. But let's get to this Josh Green acquisition. I'm so happy that the Charlotte Hornets is involved in these kind of conversations. This is all I ever wanted for Charlotte. Just get in the conversation. You got all these moves happening in the Hornets. It was a couple years back. I'm like, what's going on with the home? Just get in the conversation. Now they in it. Not only are they in the conversation, they getting a part of some of these moves. And I love how they got Josh Green. We all know the Dallas Mavericks, they've upgraded. They got Klay Thompson. I mean, they're looking to do big time things. They went to the finals and they trying to get back. But I'm telling you now, Josh Green is, to me personally, I think this guy is a pretty good player in my opinion. This guy averaged 8 points per game. He shot 48% shooting. I think only next to Lamelo, his numbers is only going to go up. In my humble opinion, he played on a winning roster. These guys, in my humble, a guy like Josh Green, a young player, I just think these guys that didn't get an opportunity to really blossom because of the roster that he was on. He played, we all know who he was playing with. This kid is 23 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He played next to Luka. He played next to Kyrie. There was no room for Josh Green. You understand? There was no room. It was no room for him. It was similar to some of the other guys that came over that we're gonna get into in a second. But I want to get back to what Josh Green did bring to the Dallas Mavericks. Like I said, he shot 47% from the field, but from three, he shot 38%. Last year, he shot 40% from three. You're playing next to LaMelo. You understand? And like I said, there's a lot. LaMelo, he's gonna feed you. So I think of guys like him who ate, in the corner. These guys he's a 3-and-D guy. He could play some defense. He's a winning player. You understand? And when you continue to put these guys in, this is a culture shifter. Like I said, they brought in Grant Williams. Grant Williams came in and he started the shift. You bringing in guys like Reggie Jackson that we're gonna get into as well, but the Josh Green, these are the sneaky moves that I'm telling you, when it's all said and done, we're gonna say, man, that Josh Green move was a big time pickup, for the Charlotte Hornets. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. He's 6'5". The Hornets. They got. I mean, he could play a multitude of different positions. But as I'm looking at the Charlotte Hornets, they got a kind of little jam going on here. In my humble opinion. I think that they gonna have to sort some things out with this roster. Obviously you got Melo there, but when you discuss Michich, Trey Mann, Nick Smith, now you bringing in my man over here, Josh Green. You still got Amari Bailey there. You got a lot of guard play. And and then also McGowan's. McGowan's could play a multitude. He could play anywhere from 2 to 3. So they got a lot of guys, in there. So they may have to start filtering out who are the winning players. I still think another move could be on the horizon for the Charlotte Hornets. These guys are gonna have shooting. You're gonna have Bertans there. They got some pieces, y'all. So now if LaMelo is healthy, the Hornets, they're not going to be as bad as they was this season. So people think that the Hornets are tanking and these ain't tank moves, in my opinion. The Hornets, they got Lamelo on this roster. They cannot just come out here and say, hey, we just gonna try to go after, Cooper Flag and all these other guys that everybody is clamoring for. They don't have that luxury. The Hornets, they have to actually go out there and compete. You got these guys on the roster. It's winning time. They done messed around too much. They done had too many seasons where it was a wash. It was no, this year is the year where the Charlotte Hornets need to get back into serious playoff, you know, contention in terms of getting in there. Of course, not competing for a championship, but they need to be one of them teams where when all the dust settles, they're going to be one of them eight, whether they have to go through the play-in or not. And there's always a surprise team. You understand? Now the Hornets, they like I said, they finished 21-61. You always have a surprise team in the league. You look at Brooklyn, they're gonna digress. You understand? Regress, pardon me. As I digress, you understand, you're gonna have these teams that just come down to earth a little bit. So we're gonna find out. We don't know what's going on with Chicago. We don't know what's going on with Atlanta. You understand? All of these teams could be headed for a serious, serious rebuild. We all know what's going on with Brooklyn. Atlanta, we don't know what they're doing with Trey. In Chicago, it looked like they're having a fire sale. So I think the Hornets, they could just roll right up in there and get one of them spots. But like I said, Josh Green, he's gonna have the luxury to play with these guys, and they all gonna be able to sprinkle their winning ways on this roster. They want to win. You look at Miller, he wants to win. You look at Lamelo, they want to win. Lamelo had the Hornets, like I said, on the brink of a playoff spot. They just got annihilated when they got to the play-in, but they was there. Whether they got beat down or whatever, they was in the play-in, y'all. So how can they get back to that? They had 2 crazy years. How can they get back to where they was at, the trajectory Lamelo was on? Lamelo should have been in the postseason like we seen Halliburton. Lamelo should have been in the postseason like we seen Edwards. But the Charlotte Hornets took a lot of different curves, and like I said, here we are. They didn't continue to elevate the rosters like the other, teams did. They didn't develop the players. They didn't select the players. And it certainly is a lot of things that the Hornets didn't do that have put them in this situation. Injuries is probably a lot of it, but there was some other things that could have been done as well. Now it's looking like the Hornets have a head on their shoulders. They are starting to get into the activity stages of the NBA. I'm so happy for this move. A change is happening. This was a sneaky pickup. It's Flight Sports TV. Make sure you hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. We're going to be bringing more Charlotte Hornets news, updates, and more, plus many other teams. Peace and love. It's Flight Sports.